So a new report was just released by the Daily Mail saying that Sean the Diddler Combs and Luigi Mangione have targets on their back inside of the Metropolitan Detention Center where they're both being housed for the crimes that they're awaiting trial for. But how realistic is it that they actually have these gang green lights on them? What would that mean? Why would it be? That's what we're going to get into in this video. All of this is coming from the Daily Mail as a source, and I don't know how much I trust the Daily Mail. So we're going to analyze this. We're going to take a look at it from the perspective of somebody who's done time and who understands how things operate behind bars and who was in a gang, so who understands how gangs operate as well. And we're going to just take it apart, dissect it, cut it open like I think we should do to Chomos, and just piece by piece tear it limb from limb. So without much further ado, let's go. You've probably heard of DeepSeek, who created AI that rivals ChatGPT at a fraction of the cost. It's now #1 on most of the app stores. But every conversation you have through their app gets stored on Chinese servers and are subject to Chinese censorship. If you want DeepSeek's power without sharing all of your conversations with Beijing, let me recommend my sponsor, Venice AI. Venice AI is a generative AI platform that is private and permissionless. They utilize leading open source AI models to deliver text code and image generation to your web browser. There's no downloads, no installations of anything. Since DeepSeek made their model open source, the folks at Venice AI were able to edit it and keep it private and remove any bias injection or censorship. But it's not just China that we need to worry about. ChatGPT literally has the former director of the NSA sitting on their board right now. Do you really think that all of our conversations are private with American AI companies? We all know that these AI companies program their AIs to only give certain kinds of answers, so I love that Venice AI doesn't spy on you or censor their AI. If you want to try Venice AI, you don't even need to create an account. You can just go to my link, venice.ai/JDDelay, and start chatting now. If you want access to a completely private and censorshipless DeepSeek model and other amazing features, go to venice.ai/JDDelay and use your code JDDelay for 20% off your pro plan. Start using AI the way it should be, completely private, unrestricted, and on your terms. All right, so the Daily Mail is the only news outlet that I've found that's actually reporting on this, which in and of itself makes this entirely sus. To me, at least. I don't find them to be entirely reputable, but it seems like they're going from a source. This dude's name is Justin Paperny, and he is the director of prison consultancy firm White Collar Advice. Yeah, bro, probably not. Prison consultants are all scam artists. I'm just gonna let you know this right now. If there's somebody out there who's doing prison consultancy work, it's basically like, if you see that movie Get Hard with Will Ferrell, where he's going to prison, so he really needs somebody to give him advice because he's terrified on what to do in prison, so he finds like the only black dude that he knows, and it's the dude who like details his car, and he assumes that he's been to prison, and he asks him if he can pay him to teach him how to survive in prison, and the dude's like, yeah, I'll be your prison consultant. That's what prison consultants are to me. That movie's called Get Hard. All of these dudes are scam artists. They assume that they're going to find people who have money like Luigi Mangione, like Diddy. In fact, Luigi Mangione actually hired one of these dudes. I feel really bad, bro. I would have given the dude advice for free, and it wouldn't have taken very long because it's really pretty simple. Mind your business, stick to your own shit, don't mess with nobody, don't look in nobody's cells, don't take no shit. If somebody's going to disrespect you, you cannot allow that to happen. But other than that, mind your own business. Now, if somebody disrespects you, haul off and blast them. Win, lose, or draw, they're going to respect you. These people are bullies. Bullies are weak people. So if you blast a bully in their shit and everybody sees that you're going to fight for your cornhole or your honey buns or whatever the case may be that they're coming after, usually with people that are rich and high profile, it's money, or they just want the notch on their belt for being able to say that they beat them up. Either way, they want targets that aren't going to fight back. That's how bullies operate. They're pussies, dog. So a prison consultant is an absolute waste of time and waste of money. This dude says that high-profile inmates are usually told to keep to themselves after incidents like shocking stabbing of 2 prisoners. Now, this stabbing of these 2 prisoners comes right on the heels of a race riot that just happened inside the Metropolitan Detention Center. Like I said, this place is basically hell on earth. It's constantly cracking. There's always something going on up in here. So it's not a nice place to be. But the segments that they have Diddy and Luigi in is not where any of this stuff is going down, man. They have these guys in basically a protective units. They're not even in the same unit. Diddy and Sam Bankman-Fried are in the same unit. In fact, for some reason, Sam Bankman-Fried was just doing an interview with, I think it might have been Tucker Carlson or something, and he was asked how Diddy is treating him, and he's like, Diddy's very nice to me, but I've only seen one piece of him, which I thought was really suspicious language. He's only seen one piece of Diddy. Oh, but, you know, that's speculation. I'm not saying that he dicked down Sam Bankman-Fried, but we all know how Diddy gets down. So this prison consultant goes on to say that even if they're in one of these protective units, that they could pay off a corrections officer to give them access, which 100% happens. He's dead ass not wrong about that. But I just don't think that either of these dudes are going to be high priority enough targets for any of these gangs. It's not like these dudes did anything specifically to these gangs. Of course, it's going to be like a trophy to be able to get at these dudes, but I'm sure that these gangs, they have drug trafficking that's going on in there. They have extortion that's going on in there. They have other rackets that are going on that are making them a lot of money inside this detention center. It doesn't make sense to me that they would be hyper-focused on getting Diddy or Sam Bankman-Fried or Luigi Mangione when they're locked in a whole different section, when they know that once they get to prison, they're going to be much easier access for them to be able to get to. It just doesn't seem like there's any time constraint on being able to get these dudes, man. Everybody knows once you get to prison, that's when it's open season because DOC no longer cares. They're not trying to protect you because you're not going to be in the media anymore. You're not going to be in the public eye. So that's when they let up and everything loosens up. And that's when dudes tend to get got a lot more. It doesn't happen when you're pre-trial. It happens once you're sentenced and you actually go to a penitentiary or a prison or whatever the case may be. Now, they are still on lockdown right now, which is another reason that I find this highly, highly unrealistic. When everybody is on lockdown, nothing is getting done. No business is getting done. The people who are trafficking substances in there, they're not getting their substances out to people. Nobody's really getting assaulted. Everybody's in their cells. So on the heels of finding out that they're going to be on lockdown for at least 30 days, the timing of this dude coming out and saying they have targets on their backs just absolutely doesn't cut mustard for me. I 100% don't believe it. He followed out by saying, you're not in a camp or a low security prison. You're confined in smaller quarters, which is exactly my point, my guy. They're on 23 or 24 hour a day lockdown. They're only getting showers 3 times a week. And they're in these units where when you go to your shower, you're getting isolated showers, dude. You know, like you're really not accessible to anybody else unless they pay off a cop to let them walk them through the section, which we know that these sections have video cameras all over them. We know that. Now, sometimes they turn off because this is the same place that Epstein got Epstein. And we know that the cameras turned off the night that Epstein didn't Epstein himself, if you remember, if you pick up what I'm spitting out. But there's cameras everywhere, man. This isn't going to be some elaborate plot that some gangs are like, yo, we gonna slide you a few K to let us get access to Diddy. We gonna stab him in the neck. Nobody's paying that much. Nobody's that invested, dog. It's just not that big of a deal. So honestly, I don't think that this is credible. I think that this is a super uncredible thing that the Daily Mail just got okey-doked into actually posting. And that's part of why I thought that it would be important to sit here and talk about it and let you guys know. Now, like I said, there's no safe spaces in prison. And maybe one of these dudes took it real personal. It could be that somebody like Diddy'd one of these gang shot callers' girlfriend or little niece or sister or something like that back in the day. And then it might be more credible. It might be a scenario where they're like, yo, we actually need to really get this dude and I want to be the one who is in charge of getting him because there's a personal aspect there, bro. But I don't think there's probably anything personal to any of this right now, which is why I find it entirely unrealistic. And again, the Daily Mail is reporting irresponsibly with this, I believe. The majority of their article is outlining other attacks that happened in complete other sections where it's more general population-based stuff, where people have access to things like weapons, and you're in a room full of other inmates, and it's like high security, but like everybody's housed close together. And all of these incidents really have nothing to do with Diddy. They have nothing to do with Luigi. This is the prison reality. Where Diddy and Luigi are is not the actual reality that any of us would experience in prison. Unless you went in there, like, I don't know, maybe I have some super rich, super powerful viewers. The average person is never gonna see the units that, like, Luigi and Diddy are on. Not unless you're there for some horrific crime. Like if you're a baby rapist or something like that, they might toss you in one of these things just because they're like, yo, we need to keep them so far away so they don't get killed until after they're out of our custody and they don't have any more court dates. We can't have them showing up to court with, you know, a shank sticking out of their neck and like both their eyes blacked up. Other than that, you're never going to see the places where Luigi and Diddy are, because it's just a completely different reality. But all that this is highlighting is that prisons, yes, they're violent places, but they're not even full on in prison yet. They're just in a federal holding detention center awaiting trial. So that's really all that's going on here. I don't find this article to be really worth what it was printed on. It's kind of just garbage. And you know what, when I find something that I think is just unreliable and I think it's just kind of horse shit, I'm going to call it out. I'm going to call it out to y'all. And you know, I could be wrong. Maybe this dude who works for the white collar prison consultant, firm is dead ass on this. But to be quite honest with you, I think that this dude was just trying to get some headlines. He got one. I think that the Daily Mail made themselves look stupid. They did that effectively. They're good at that a lot of the time. But you know, I really wouldn't worry about either of them with this. I think that Diddy has enough to worry about when he gets to prison. I really don't think that Luigi Mangione has anything to worry about. I think that once Luigi gets to federal prison, not only do I not think anybody's going to have a target on him, I think he's going to run with some Italians or something like that. One of these cars is going to be super happy to pick Luigi up. They're going to take care of him. They're going to make sure that he's safe. I don't think his booty hole, I don't think his neck, I don't think his money, I don't think any of that shit's in danger. I think Luigi's going to have a really safe, easy ride in prison as far as prison goes. I think he's the type of dude who will stand up for himself too. He doesn't seem like the type of dude you're just going to push around. He's an Italian hothead, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I think Diddy's going to definitely have a hard ride. But I don't think we're going to really see a whole lot of that until Diddy gets to the federal penitentiary, which I 100% believe that Diddy is headed for the federal penitentiary, but he's not there yet. So we're all just going to have to be patient, unfortunately. I know it sucks waiting when you want to see somebody get stabbed this bad, but I love you guys, man. That's all I've got for you today. Until the next one love, be good or be good at it.